Hey, welcome back YouTube. Welcome back everybody to more MSQ full playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV Online. Um, I honestly don't remember the last thing that we did, so we're gonna actually read the quest for once. Oh, that's right, we were doing stuff with Jackass. Noting your troubled expression, Hien asks if something is amiss, and you distractedly recount your exchange with Asahi. The tale leaves Ugiri and Alice understandably aghast, but Hien appears unmoved. Though he concedes the incident does not bode well for the coming prisoner exchange, he remains determined to see it through. After assuring you that he will send word when all of the necessary preparations have been made, he bids you rest, and so you depart for Kugane together with Alphanode and Alice. Aye, it seems you're all in quite the predicament. Well, should we receive any urgent missives from Doma, rest assured you will be the first to know of it. Yes, of course. We're discussing ideas to replenish our coffers, but I suppose that all can wait if any urgent news should come through the office. About that, I wish to apologize to Taru. It was reckless of me to make such approaches without first consulting you. You may be certain, however, that I mean to reimburse the Scions, even if it means drawing upon my personal funds. That's very thoughtful of you, but I'm sure it won't come to that. If Soroban's business proposition is as promising as it sounds, MSQ should have no difficulty wiping the red from our ledger. Forgive me, Amask. It would seem I have unwittingly heaped my financial troubles upon you. I swear I will pay you back. Though I fear I will struggle to cobble together anything of monetary value, knowledge I can gather in abundance. To start, I plan to investigate the divisions forming within the Empire. Mayhap Riel and his associates have heard something on the subject. Regardless, the more we know about the politics of Garlemald, the better our chances of predicting the Imperial's next move, which might yield you an advantage on the day of the prisoner exchange. Knowing what we do of Asahi's apparent resentment towards you, I cannot say what he hopes to gain from it. But if there is even the faintest chance that a lasting peace could be forged between Doma and the Empire, what choice have we but to try? Lord Hien had the right of it. Asahi may have well been a monster, but we must play his game for now. Ending? I think that's just jewelry. Arranging the prisoner exchange proved easier than I thought. Yes, my lord will be most pleased. Everything is going according to plan.
Can you truly remember nothing? Nothing at all?
Were we friends?
Yes, we were good friends, you and I. In fact, I've brought you a gift. I pray that one day soon, as you gaze into that mirror, you will remember the woman staring back at you.
It's so pretty. Who are you? Who are you?
Meanwhile, in the Imperial capital, what's Varys up to? Was that Xenos?
How are you feeling, my lord?
The fuck?
Fine, now leave me.
How? Even. Ah, MSQ. Impeccable timing. I just received a letter from Lord Hien. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for signs of crystal, hoarding and the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. For the Gallians' part, the populares have sent word that a vessel bearing Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yangsha. It would seem that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. Lord Hien requests your presence, and I share his view that you should be on hand at this critical juncture. According to the letter, Yotsuyu's memory has yet to return, so it looks like that she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma. Assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any chance in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Asahi weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. Let us make straightaways for the Enclave, then. Lord Hien will be waiting. Trust you will cope in our absence, Tataru? Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Just be sure to come back safely. My, that's so far. An enclave it is. I see my letter reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one other matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Gosetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather the worse for wear, and despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. Good gods, is he all right? Confined to bed and grumbling without cease, but he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are, however, I think it high time he received some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yotsuyo has scarce left his side, and I imagine you are curious to see what has become of her as well. We will visit him at once. Ask Alice, shall we?
Open wide now.
That's actually kind of adorable.
Please, Tsuyu. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself. I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon.
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, We have guests.
I hope we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... A gross exaggeration. A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Take off your clothes.
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
Oh, what? Alice, say chill, bro.
My lady, I assure you, this is not...
Off with them. We need to wash you. You stink.
Freaking Alice, dude. We're just watching him take a bath, bro. So weird.
What are all these scars? There are so many of them.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man. Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
But leave me be, woman. I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
They make a convincing pair, do they not? On first acquaintance, I would think him a doting grandsire and her a model grandchild. Indeed, had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Goetsetsu lost none of his spirit. But what a turn of events. I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him, you couldn't make it up. Although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man. With the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. Aye, he has resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. But no matter how acclamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains. He will never again be the warrior he once was. He has given all for his liege and land, and we will ask no more. And what of his nurse? If Yotsuyu is feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. Yukiri, out of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince. So, what makes you so sure? I have been spying on Yotsuyu from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask has never slipped, not once. She has remained in character from the first. One evening, I watched her as she sat in her chambers, unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami. A child's game. Even the wary shinobi would not go to such lengths. I can but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me, and everyone else, I would hazard. Aye, the matter is settled. Yotsuyu will become Tsuyu and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we will need to present her to the ambassador one last time, prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Understandably, she is as good as fasten the chains around their necks. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude this business with Tsuyu first. Out of the sight of my countrymen, will you help me? We are at your service. There is no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. My thanks. The galleons are on their way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with Tsuyu. Those docks. Okay. I'm gonna want to take the whatchamacallit. Oh my gosh, is that like a... Is it almost perfect? Looks like lease. But just cat. Cat lease. Shall we wait here then? Lord Tien should not be long. My friends, have you seen Suyo? He is nowhere to be found. What? The Gallians will be landing in a matter of moments. If she's fled, could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. Ugiri is scouring the streets as we speak, but it is possible Suyo has left the Enclave altogether. Captain, a word. Did you perchance carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? Fair-skinned woman, my lord? I do not rightly know. I think... Yes. Yes, my lord. Now that you mention it, there was a lady among the passengers whom I do not recall having seen before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her onto the boat. White as new fallen snow. It was... Was she someone important, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No. No, I was merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. Would seem that Suyo crossed the river. Help me. No good can come of this. This is armor. I'll probably get aiming, I guess. It seems Suyo has gone unrecognized thus far, but Kami help us if someone catches a clear view of her face. I must find her before that happens. The responsibility for her disappearance, for all of this, lies with me. I would ask for your aid nonetheless. We are at your service, Lord Tien, now as before. Let us make the crossing and begin our search. You go on ahead. Someone should let Yukiri know what we've learned. I'll join you on the other side. I've no way of knowing where Suyo is headed, so we had best divide our forces. I will take to Kusakari and its surrounds. Alpha Note, if you would take the road to Castrum Fluminus. MSQ, forgive me, but could I ask you to interrogate the residents of Yuzuka Manor? One of the Namazu may have well seen our query. If everyone is in agreement, let us board the skiff and hope the Kami smile upon our efforts. Come to Yuzuka Manor. Yes, if there is anything you care to know, you need only... A pale-skinned woman. I have seen no such traveler, I'm sorry to say. Most sorry. Scaly-skinned Namazu, on the other hand, we have in abundance. Unusually pale skin. Yes. I saw this woman on the way back from my fishing trip. Fishing trip? She had just crossed the shallows east of here, and was headed in a northeasterly direction, for the most part. Her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you might still catch her. Good thing we can fly here now. You see no sign of Yotsuyu to the north. Perhaps she is somewhere farther off to the northeast. Still no sign of Yotsuyu. Perhaps she is farther yet to the northeast. Yotsuyu is nowhere to be seen, but lying on the ground a short distance to the north, you spy a familiar-looking wide-brimmed hat. Who's that standing there? Oh, it's a random person. Not pertinent to the doing story as well, it seems. A cursory glance is all that is required to confirm your suspicions. It is the same hat Yotsuyu was wearing when you found her in Sakazuki. Mask, before you ask, our search of Kusukari is its surroundings has yielded exactly naught. Save this chance reunion with you, I suppose. Mistress Alice has gone to assist her brother at the castrum. It was she who informed us of the situation. I joined Lord Tien here shortly thereafter. How did you fare at Yuzuka Manor? Any sign of our missing guest? We're standing on it. Towards Namai. They call me. If the villagers recognize her, it will not end well. We must hurry. Yugiri and I will check the paddles. The village square is yours. That's not good.
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! Please! I only wanted a persimmon.
Kami, save us! Her spirit has returned!
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
It can't be. She couldn't have survived.
What did I do?
As if you don't know!
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead.
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the Kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed, though Yotsugu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies, my lord! She would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Hien, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then, it's all true. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're sorry. And what? We're supposed to forgive you!
Here, there's no need to cry. Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
Until such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu, and treated as a citizen of Doma. I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. Rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands, and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
Music out of nowhere is so fun. That would have been better avoided. But at least it did not end in bloodshed. And judging by Suyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. It was no escape attempt. It seems it was an offhand request of Gosetsu's which brought her to Namai. She came in search of a persimmon. And they say fruit is good for the health. Do hope Gosetsu finds the taste to his liking. Well, we have certainly taken the long way around, but let us continue on to Castrum Fluminus and our meeting with the ambassador. Fulnode and Alice should still be there, concluding their search. It seems our Imperial guests have already arrived. It's time to meet with the ambassador.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see.
That look on his face.
But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Her freaking parents, isn't it? Assholes.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look, well.
Fuck both of you. I hope she kills you.
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
Kosetsu. I have to take this to Kosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
I knew better than to trust Asahi, but that was a dirty trick. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Suyu's future to rest. I have sent her back to the Enclave with Yugiri to give Gosetsu his precious persimmon. Come, let us follow them. Have that look, Alphinaud. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence, most like. We can discuss it upon our return. We should pay a visit to Gosetsu and reassure him about Suyu's fate. He will want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder.
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone!
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Why haven't we learned yet that there needs to be a guard with her at all times? How many times does it take for her to run away for y'all to fucking get it? It ain't that hard. Jesus. I would even go as far as to say that Lord Hien is downright irresponsible for how many times she's gotten away.
Help! Help me!
only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu! A font of misery! You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh no! You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure! We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine! I don't deserve this!
Oh, but you know what you do deserve is this little sharp thing behind her back.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament.
I hope she kills you both. I hope she's dead on the ground. Slice this fool.
You've kept your looks at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugane and start a new business.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Yotsuyu!
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Get the mama too, that dumb bitch. Hell yeah. That's what you get, you stupid hoe. Dumbass bitch. Fuck around and find. I'm so mad. I'm not even upset at Yotsuyu, to be honest. Good for her.
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise.
You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
Please. I don't want to die.
Oh, but you deserve to. That's the problem.
Any sign of her? What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
We have recovered the Nara's remains, and will hold the cremation anon. But they had never set again foot in Doma. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. So, my friends, that which we feared has come to pass. Yotsuyo has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is by any measure a cruel twist, not least for Gosetsu, but one which does not invalidate our agreement. According to the terms of the contract, we were bound to surrender Yotsuyo in the Garlean's hands, should her condition improve prior to the hour of exchange. By that reckoning, all is, if not as it should be, then as it must be. This I can accept. But what I cannot accept are the unconscionable lengths to which Asahi went to achieve this outcome. Given his recent conduct and his apparent admiration for Xenos, it is plain he cannot be trusted. And that is to say nothing of the unexplained containers he insists on bringing to our meetings. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. A wise precaution. In the main structure of Castrum Fluminus is to be the stage for the exchange, and I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The Citadel has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal. While we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by an occupying force, it is entirely possible that the ambassador has arranged things there to his advantage. I will slip inside and make certain we have an unobstructed exit. Pray allow me to join you. I have some experience of Imperial facilities, and should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope to be of at least some use. Very good. That should be enough to get Intias away out of the castrum. Beyond that, however, we will need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even with every skiff we have, it would take several trips to evacuate everyone. A Confederate Sekuban, on the other hand, would require only a single run, and leave us far less vulnerable on the water. Assuming, of course, Rasho can be convinced to part with one. Might I take the lead on this? I've had dealings with Rasho and his pirates before, and I won't be alone, will I, MSQ? You can count on me. Much appreciated. I quite fancy parlaying with pirates again. It's just a shame Lise won't be there to reprise her role. I am certain you would make a persuasive pair, but I think I will accompany you to these negotiations all the same. My lord, the ruler of Doma should not be seen consorting with common brigands. Come now, Ikiri. They stood with us against the Empire. If we would ask their aid once more, we must treat them as equals. My presence shall serve to demonstrate our sincerity. Indeed, my lord. Pray forgive my presumption. By your leave, Master Alphanode and I shall begin about our task. Went a little robotic there at the end. She speaks very robotically, though. She's like Minfilia Part 2. Said that in the beginning, didn't I? And we should be on our way to Onokoro. Time is short, and Rasho may take some convincing. There is a face I did not expect to see. What brings the noble lord of Doma into the company of bilge-rats such as we? If you've come to offer Doman chains in place of Garlean ones, then I'm afraid you've wasted a trip. And what fine subjects you would make. With your fleet at our disposal, our restoration efforts would be hastened tenfold. Let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your fealty, but to request your aid once more. Mayhap you are confused. Doma's liberation was but a means to an end. We aided you only to save ourselves. Now we have no such incentive. We have sworn no oath to you and will not come running like hounds at their master's whistle. And I would not presume to treat you thus. I come to petition your cooperation as an ally of equal standing. Equal standing, you say? Seems a bit lopsided to me. Where's the profit for us all in all of this? Profit? You must always think in such short-sighted terms. Have you ever heard of doing the right thing? Have you ever heard of pirates, little miss? You'll find we're simple souls. You'll pay our tithe, you sail in peace. Deny us our due, and we take it by force. We'll put you out of the water if we see you drowning. We are not in the business of doing something for nothing. Calm yourself, Mr. Salise. We did not come here to moralize. We came here to talk. And there is more to be said. According to records recovered after the liberation, relatives of your Doman-born brethren were among those conscripted into the Imperial Army. And as you may be aware, we recently negotiated the return of said conscripts. Many, alas, will arrive to no families waiting for them, no homes to grant them shelter. I would ask that you offer them a place in the Confederacy. You would not be rescuing strangers, but welcoming brothers and sisters into your ranks. And has not the Confederacy been in need of new recruits? You seem well informed of our affairs, Lord Hien. The losses we suffered at the Guardians' hands are no secret, but since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers. So many vessels to tax, so few pirates to tax them. We could do with some more hands on deck, and doubly so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire. Very well. Confederacy agrees to your request. We will have your ship. But before that, you must do something for me. The vessel I have in mind was damaged during your battle with the Empire. Though we have mended her, she has yet to be declared seaworthy. She is sound enough down below, but when you load her up with conscripts and the waterline rises, those upper planks had best be free of cracks. Assuming you want your people to stay dry, you will do me the favor of swimming around the hull to check for weaknesses. That is, if Doman lords are not averse to getting their robes wet. Not this Doman lord? If we each inspect a third of the ship, it shall be done in a thrice. That is the spirit. The ship is moored at Quickscape Pier. Our apprentice shipwright will be on deck to hear your report. Look for a lad named Inahashi. And I thought I had a knack for parleying with pirates. For the record, my previous attempt was an unmitigated success, and yes, I should have quit while I was ahead. Well, I thought the rumors exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. Upon closer inspection, you spot a small crack in one of the planks. You see no signs of damage here. The water is so invigorating. I have not swum in the Ruby Sea since. But I should be concentrating on the task at hand. For once, I'm actually glad Yukiri isn't here. I doubt she would have taken kindly to a pirate inviting Hien to inspect his hull. I'm the shipwright. Apprentice shipwright. Did you find anything that might need attention? The section I inspected seems solid enough. Oh, on the port side near the bow, you say? Alright. Have a look and see what I can do. Apologies, I seem to have lagged behind. I could float in that gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I am happy to report no visible cracking or holes in my section of the hull. You're Lord Hien. Captain sent you to inspect the hull. God may have mercy. Forgive us this discourtesy, my lord. It is quite all right. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take it you are of Doma. Yes, my lord. The Imperials took my father away after the uprising. I had nowhere else to run. The Confederacy became my family. But someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now. Maybe my father will be among them. That I can go back. There's no leaving once you've joined. How fares Our Lady? Is she seaworthy? Then, we found a small crack in the port side, but I'll have it fixed before you know it. I see you have met the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babbles when he is nervous. Should his father be among the conscripts as he hopes, I mean to give him the choice to leave his life. If he so chooses, I expect you to see they are provided for. I have heard that those who join the Confederacy forswear all ties with kin and homeland. Is that oath so easily put aside? If I allow it. I see in him the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words, you mean them, but the yearning for home still lingers. My family is long dead, and I know this life is my lot, but he has scarce dipped his toes with us. If there is a life for him in Doma, he should have the chance to live it. Well said. The Empire's conquest has uprooted many more, be it in Yangsha or out on the Ruby Sea. We have a duty to ensure that Inahashi, or others like him, are free to dwell where they desire. The matter is settled. I will make preparations to cast off. Well, my friends, it seems we have our ship. Let us return to the Enclave. That's going to do it for this one. We'll see you in the next one. We're going to cut it short very rapidly, so like and subscribe if you're enjoying what you're watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.